Strategy as a genre may not be as popular as it was back in the 90s and early 2000s. However, we've recently seen a resurgence with numerous games rivaling the greats of my own childhood. Xbox Game Pass provides a treasure trove of strategy games, especially for all of you enthusiasts to explore. And today we'll be narrowing down the 15 best strategy games that you can play right now in late 2024. My name is Fletcher, this is Xbox Nation. Subscribe for daily Xbox content and let's dive right in. As an Age of Empires spin-off, Age of Mythology takes the core gameplay of the main series and adds gods into the mix, actually blending stable RTS realism with devastating divine powers. The 2002 original was a cult classic back in the day, and the absence of the sequels left a void in RTS history. However, this year brought us Age of Mythology Retold, an update walking the line between a remaster and a remake. Players will be able to choose from 4 pantheons, each with unique deities and powers, and work through a detailed campaign that highlights differences amongst civilizations. These factions also boast unique units and specializations, adding depth to the entire gameplay. While the single player campaign is very lengthy and engaging, the game also includes a multiplayer mode for competitive and cooperative matches. Retold skillfully modernizes the beloved original, incorporating updated visuals, quality of life improvements, and refined mechanics that preserve the charm of the 2002 game while making it accessible for newer audiences. Though Age of Empires 2 and 4 might offer broader content, Age of Mythology Retold really sets itself apart as a mythological side quest with just enough innovation to stand on its own. After spending more than a year as a PC exclusive, Age of Empires 4 finally came to Xbox in August of 2023, marking a new chapter for console RTS gaming. Developed by Relic and World's Edge, this game brought a polished, albeit safe continuation of the beloved RTS series. You'll be able to enjoy 4 campaigns, each focusing on a pivotal moment in history, while controlling one of 8 civilizations available at launch. Over time, 2 more civilizations have actually been added, increasing the depth of the content. Single-player fans can actually enjoy a very robust campaign that delivers a narrative-driven experience, while multiplayer enthusiasts have access to an active and competitive online community. The gameplay here really strikes a balance between classic RTS mechanics and modern features, ensuring it caters to newcomers and veterans alike. While Age of Empires 2 often steals the spotlight as the franchise's pinnacle, Age of Empires 4 really does carve its own path by introducing streamlined mechanics that are perfect for easing players into the RTS world. For newcomers, Age of Empires 4 is an ideal starting point in the strategy genre, particularly if they want to explore the multiplayer scene, which is still thriving with strategic opportunities. Pair this with other Age of Empires entries available on Game Pass, and this game ensures hours of historical fun. The follow-up to the critically acclaimed Frostpunk elevates its predecessor's city building and survival gameplay to brand new heights. Set in a frozen apocalypse, Frostpunk 2 challenges players to manage dwindling resources, appease conflicting factions, and confront brutal moral dilemmas that question the cost of survival. This time, you're not just fighting the cold, you're actually managing a complex political system where factions will clash over priorities. For instance, some citizens demand embracing new energy sources like oil, while others consider them dangerous. Every single decision you make will really influence the city's morale, its economy, and survival, really forcing you to juggle responsibilities as both a leader and a survivor. The game still retains that emotional weight of its predecessor, while introducing deeper political systems and expanded narrative choices. Visual improvements make the harsh environment look even more immersive these days, with detailed snow-covered landscapes and some pretty grim cityscapes. Its brand new mechanics and decision-making layers ensure that players remain engrossed throughout, delivering a game where every single choice just feels impactful. Whether you're a fan of city-building games or moral conundrums, Frostpunk 2 will grip you from the start. Halo Universe is best known for its iconic first-person shooters, but Halo Wars actually provided an excellent RTS experience that expands the series' lore and strategy gameplay. Developed specifically for consoles in mind, the game features one of the most controller-friendly RTS setups I've ever seen, allowing players to lead some large-scale battles without a mouse and keyboard. Set before the original Halo combat evolved, the story actually follows the crew of the UNSC Spirit of Fire as they confront the Covenant. Players can control various Halo factions, building armies, and deploying classic vehicles like Warthogs and Scorpions. The campaign is very cinematic, offering detailed cutscenes that explore untapped parts of the Halo lore. Multiplayer is also a significant draw, enabling players to test their strategic skills against each other online. Its sequel Halo Wars 2 actually builds upon the original with some more factions, units, and enhanced graphics, making it an ideal continuation for those who enjoyed the first game. Both titles are actually available on Xbox Game Pass right now, offering accessible entry points into RTS gaming for Halo fans and newcomers alike. Capcom ventures into uncharted territory with Kunitsu-Gami Path of the Goddess, a real-time strategy and tower defense hybrid wrapped in a mystical Japanese folklore setting. In this game, players must defend a divine maiden tasked with purging evil spirits from a sacred mountain. The gameplay balances between village management, where players will rescue and assign villagers to strategic roles, and hack and slash combat, where the protagonist fends off waves of enemies. By night, the intensity will ramp up as hordes of spirits attack, requiring carefully planned defenses and clever resource management. Kunitsu-Gami's unique approach to strategy really shines through though in its emphasis on villager development. Every single villager has specific skills that can be enhanced, and players must wisely deploy them to key positions for defense. Couple that with a beautiful art style and an incredibly rich atmosphere, and the game offers a blend of action and strategy that feels fresh and engaging. Honestly, this is a must-try for fans of tower defense games or anyone looking for a distinctive new IP. Wartales needs to be shouted about more. It offers a refreshing take on the strategy genre by combining elements of sandbox RPGs and turn-based tactics into a seamless medieval-themed adventure. Instead of following a linear narrative like most games out there, players will actually control a group of mercenaries as they roam a massive open world, taking on different contracts, battling enemies, and managing your resources. The game places heavy emphasis on player-driven storytelling, as the lack of a defined main story allows each campaign to unfold uniquely based on player choices. As mercenaries, survival really does depend though on your careful planning. You'll need to ensure your party is fed, rested, and paid, or risk losing members to desertion or death. Every single character in your party also has their very own unique traits, skills, and professions, adding extra layers of depth to resource management and combat preparation. The tactical combat system actually really borrows elements from games like Fire Emblem and Divinity Original Sin, featuring a grid-based battlefield where positioning, abilities, and team synergy play a crucial role. Combat encounters are very challenging though, with permadeath raising the stakes significantly. With its rich sandbox environment, Wartales is a game for those who love crafting their own stories, making it such a standout title on Xbox Game Pass. For fans of the Dungeon Keeper series or anyone who enjoys playing as a villain, Dungeons 4 is an engaging mix of base building strategy and real-time combat. Players will actually assume the role of an evil overlord who must construct a vast underground lair, recruiting monstrous minions and preparing for battles against invading heroes. The core of this game though actually revolves around managing your own resources to expand your dungeon, crafting some pretty intricate layouts with traps and fortifications, and assembling a formidable army of goblins, demons, and trolls. Combat often spills into the overworld, where players can unleash their forces, dominate lands, and subdue rival factions. Each of your minions has unique abilities as well that can be upgraded, allowing for some strategic customization of your evil forces. The single-player campaign in this game really does provide a satisfying mix of humor and strategy, as it's filled with so much tongue-in-cheek humor that pokes fun at fantasy tropes. Then the multiplayer adds another layer, letting players test their dungeon designs and armies against one another. Though the game occasionally suffers from repetitiveness in its later missions, the sheer variety of strategies and customization options make Dungeons 4 a must-play. Humankind takes the 4X strategies formula to brand new heights by letting players rewrite history through their own unique civilizations. You'll be starting as a small nomadic tribe, and you'll gradually expand through 7 distinct eras, each marked by cultural and technological advancements. Unlike similar games like Civilization, Humankind actually allows players to blend different cultures, combining a sort of hybrid civilization that evolves based on player decisions. Gameplay actually spans diplomacy, religion, warfare, and resource management, and the turn-based combat system lets you position troops strategically across varied terrains, whilst the city-building mechanics emphasize adaptability as you grow your empire. Players can also pursue different victory conditions, from military dominance to cultural influence. What really sets Humankind apart though in the RTS genre is its narrative flexibility. As you progress, decisions you make shape the legacy of your civilization, enabling unique what-if scenarios. The game's beautiful visuals and expansive campaign options make it approachable for newcomers, while its complexity ensures long-time appeal for veterans of this genre. With its innovative take on the 4X gameplay, Humankind is an exceptional addition to Xbox Game Pass. Minecraft Legends actually reimagines the blocky universe as a hybrid of real-time strategy and action-adventure. Set in the familiar overworld, this spin-off focuses on defending villages from the invading piglin forces, using a combination of exploration, base building, and squad management. You'll be able to take on the role of a hero who recruits friendly mobs to form a massive army. Combat actually involves directing these units to attack piglin outposts, destroy their portals and reclaim lost territory. Meanwhile, the player must gather resources, build defenses, and upgrade their base to withstand increasingly difficult enemy waves. While it is designed to be accessible for younger players or strategy newcomers, Minecraft Legends does retain enough depth to engage some more experienced gamers. Its bright visuals, creative building mechanics, and familiar mobs make it such a charming entry point into the strategy genre, even if it does lack the complexity of traditional RTS titles. Blending deck building mechanics with a roguelike structure, Slay the Spire has become a modern classic. Players will be able to choose from one of several characters, each with a unique deck and playstyle, and climb a procedurally generated spire filled with enemies, treasures, and random events. Each turn-based battle actually requires careful planning, as players draw cards to attack, defend, or activate special abilities. As you ascend, you'll be collecting new cards, relics that grant powerful bonuses, and potions for temporary effects. However, you must do this while balancing and improving your deck with managing your health, as dying really does send you back to the start. Slay the Spire's replayability honestly is its greatest strength though, as no two runs are ever the same. It has dozens of cards, relics, and synergies to discover, so players can really experiment endlessly to find optimal strategies. Whether you're a fan of card games, roguelikes, or just both in general, Slay the Spire is an addictive and rewarding gameplay experience. Aura History Untold is a turn-based strategy game that allows players to rewrite history by building and leading their own civilization. Inspired by games like Civilization and Humankind, Aura actually focuses heavily on cultural, political, and technological development. Players will start with a very small settlement and gradually expand their influence through diplomacy, trade, and conquest. Unique to Aura though is its focus on alternative history, where your decisions can create unexpected what-if scenarios. For instance, you may be able to establish a peace treaty with a rival faction, or invest in cultural growth over military strength. Every decision impacts the world in so many different and meaningful ways. While the game actually boasts some pretty incredible depth, it can be overwhelming for newcomers due to its intricate systems and somewhat clunky menus. However, for fans of slow-paced, thoughtful strategy games, Aura History Untold offers a rewarding experience, and it really emphasizes the joy of long-term planning. Metal Slug Tactics is the most recent strategy game to enter the Xbox Game Pass library, and it brings the fast-paced action of the arcade classic into the realm of turn-based tactics. Maintaining the franchise's iconic art style, humor, and explosive gameplay, this spin-off actually introduces fans to a new way of engaging with the Metal Slug universe. Players will be able to control a squad of familiar characters like Marco, Theo, and Tama, navigating a grid-based battlefield filled with enemies and environmental hazards. Strategy is really key though, as each character has unique abilities and weapons that must be used effectively to outmaneuver opponents. A roguelike progression system also ensures that every single run is unique, offering different challenges and rewards every single time. Despite its shift in genre, Metal Slug Tactics remains true to this franchise's spirit, blending strategy with tons of chaotic action. Fans of the original series and newcomers alike will find plenty to love in this new Game Pass gem. Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord offers an expansive medieval sandbox experience where players can actually command armies, forge political alliances, and even partake in one-on-one combat. Serving as both a sequel and prequel to the original game, it provides a deeper and more refined take on its blend of strategy, RPG, and real-time combat elements. You will start as a lone adventurer in the war-torn land of Calradia, tasked with building a legacy through conquest, trade, or diplomacy. You'll be able to raise armies, conquer different settlements, and manage some pretty vast territories. The game's standout feature though is its real-time physics-based combat, where players can actually lead troops into massive battles or participate directly on the battlefield with swords, bows, or lances. The campaign mode is incredibly dynamic though, and it is a player-driven experience, really allowing you to align with different factions, pursue quests, and even establish your own kingdom. Meanwhile, its multiplayer component features intense skirmishes, sieges, and team-based modes, which is just utterly fantastic. It has such a great mix of action, strategy, and role-playing, so Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord is a must-play for fans of medieval-themed games. Gears Tactics actually reimagines the high-octane mod of Gears of War as a turn-based strategy game in the same vein of XCOM. Set 12 years before the events of the original Gears of War, it follows Gabe Diaz, father of the series' protagonist Kate Diaz, as he leads a squad against the Locust Horde. The game really combines the tactical depth of turn-based combat with some explosive action that the series is known for. You'll be commanding a small team of soldiers, each customizable with unique classes, weapons, and abilities. Combat though really emphasizes your aggressive play, rewarding players who take risks with mechanics like executions, which will grant bonuses into your squad. The campaign mode is absolutely great, offering an engaging story filled with so many cinematic cutscenes, while optional side missions allow players to further upgrade their squad. While it does lack the base building elements of other strategy games, Gears Tactics makes up for it for its fast-paced, visceral gameplay and just stunning visuals. It's an excellent entry point for strategy newcomers and a fresh take for Gears of War fans. And finally, we have Crusader Kings III. It's a grand strategy game that puts players in the role of a medieval ruler, managing dynasties across different centuries. Unlike other strategy games that focus solely on empire building, Crusader Kings III emphasizes the personal lives of its rulers, with different politics, family drama, and intrigue taking center stage. Players can choose to rule over a vast kingdom or a small county, navigating challenges like wars, diplomacy, and succession crisis. The game's depth really lies though in its character-driven gameplay, where every decision, from whom you marry to how to handle a rebellious vassal, has far-reaching consequences. You might wage wars to expand your territory, forge alliances through different marriages, or assassinate rivals to secure your lineage. The role-playing elements are bolstered by a detailed skill system, allowing rulers to specialize in areas like military strategy, stewardship, or intrigue. With dynamic events and procedurally generated characters, along with modded support, no two playthroughs are ever the same. Whether you're crafting a legacy or unraveling a kingdom through poor decisions, Crusader Kings III is a fantastic sandbox game, and I cannot recommend it enough on this list. So there you have it, the best strategy games on Xbox Game Pass in 2024. It's been an incredible couple of years for strategy games, and there are some excellent games covered in this video today. Let me know in the comments which strategy game is your favourite and if we missed any on this list. Remember to like the video if you enjoyed and subscribe for more Xbox content every single day. Whilst here, why don't you check out our most recent video covering a pretty decent Xbox midweek sale. There are some great hidden titles on offer this week for the very first time, so you certainly don't want to miss out on these deals.